Hi, I'm Heather O'Neill, and this is my presentation on gifts to students and staff. So gifts to students or staff are considered personal goods or services for staff purchased with school funds. For example, a baby shower gift or a wedding shower gift, something along those lines. But this excludes bulletin board supplies, hand calculators, supplies for a student desk. A good rule of thumb is knowing if it's considered a gift or not is if the teacher leaves, does the gift leave with it? If the gift is going to stay if the teacher transfers, retires, or terminates their position, that's how you can kind of determine if it's a gift or not. Student gifts could be incentives, such as, participating in a fundraiser. Those are usually paid for, or they should be paid for, by the fundraiser profit. For example, we give out a little coupon to our local ice cream shop, and the kids get a free ice cream cone, or, the same thing to Personal Pan Pizzas. Gambino's does that for us a lot as well. So that could be considered an incentive. Special achievement gifts are considered, for a student or a group of students for athletics or academics. They're paid for by, we call ours PTO, some people call them PTA, maybe the general fund, the athletic fund, or a separate donation is made for those gifts of achievement. This could be a whole group, a pizza party, or, for our track and field day, we do little medals for the students or a specific certificate. Staff gifts, fall into a couple different categories. Sometimes there's a special gift. Usually this is for a specific member. As I mentioned earlier, this could be a wedding shower gift or a baby shower gift. These items should be reasonably priced. And these are paid for by staff. The Remembrance Fund, or you may have a different name for it, but that's what it's considered as. These are usually committee run, and they have written procedures and limits. Usually this is established to pay for, like I said, weddings, baby showers, a death in the family. Maybe you're going to buy a plant or something to go towards that. The money in there comes from either like annual dues, or at my old school, we hosted or we ran a concession stand twice a year, once during a football game and once during a track meet. And that was the money that covered this fund at my old school, and so it could also just come from donations from the staff, that as they have extra money or whatnot, you can put it in there however you want to do that, but they could come from donations or a specific activity or task. This should have new committee members every year, and those committee members should meet at least once a year to review procedures and spending limits. Staff gifts may also come from fundraising, incentive gifts. For example, if you're doing a t-shirt sale, the top seller is going to get some sort of a gift. It's recommended that you use 5% or less of the profits for the gift, and it definitely should be reasonable. And then there's something, that maybe all staff get as a gift, say a t-shirt, a school bag, or a planner or something like that that's specific with your school's logo on it. This is paid with staff-generated money, or the PTO or PTA pays for this. It's tangible and it's a low-dollar item. That way it's not confused with wages. Since this is paid for, by staff-generated money, it should benefit the staff. Should not come out of the general fund, as this money is, should benefit the entire school if it comes out of the general fund. And cash or cash equivalent items like checks or gift certificates that can be redeemed for checks should not be given unless these are added to an employee's W-2. The cash gifts are considered earnings in the eyes of the IRS. So those tangible items are, definitely a better way to go. Things do happen. Especially in my community, it's a small community. So when things do happen, our school comes together to help a family out, or, a staff member. And so, in a special circumstance, an event like an illness or a catastrophe, it's best to seek district advice if you're going to do some sort of event, or money collection. So, before doing so, but honestly, it's best to let the PTO or PTA handle this. And then let them work with the local bank to handle the collected funds. to wrap things up, gifts and prizes should follow guidelines and procedures. You don't want bad perception from the community. Eyes are always on the school. Are we being frugal with our money? That judgment is there all the time. So it's best not to give, a negative perception, even if it is just an act of kindness. So perception's everything, especially in a small community, as many of us are in Kansas. So let those acts of kindness be just that. Don't let them be an administrative headache. So if there is a question or a concern of how something should be handled, definitely consult with your, your principal or your superintendent to get the best advice possible.